In this Excel demonstration, we're going to cover creating a normal quantile plot. So the first thing is we're going to use the Excel demonstration store A and B data workbook. So that's where we're going to start. I'm only going to look at store A. So let me just delete store B as far as its data is concerned. So deleting store B. I'm going to change all this data into just numbers, and as far as the format is concerned for now. So I'm going to do numbers to decimal places. Then what happens is I've got those values in there. I want to put indexing in next to them. So I'm going to enter the data, and then I'm going to sort my data in ascending order. So let's start from the beginning and let's sort it. Coming down here, using the sort icon, sort, and we want to make it an ascending order, so smallest to largest. Then after all of the data is entered and sorted in the column, we want to select the next spot over. Mine's going to be in C3. And then in C3, what I want to do is I'm going to do norm.s.inverse. So I'm going to start there. So equals norm.s.inverse, and I'm going to put the parenthesis. Then what comes behind it is we're going to type 1, the division symbol in Excel, and then behind that is parenthesis 2 times 30, because our n is 30. So since the sample size is 30, each score is going to represent 1/30th of the sample. And so I'm going to turn around, I'm going to put that second parenthesis around it, and I'm going to say enter. That's interesting that that data is coming up in an accounting format. So I'm going to make this number. So negative 2.13. Each data value is assumed to subdivide the data into equal intervals, and each data value corresponds to the midpoint of the particular subinterval. So we're going to standardize the data by assuming each data value represents the endpoint of the subinterval of width 1/30th. So I have to repeat the procedure from step 2 for each data value in column A. So I want to go through, and the next one that I type in is going to say 3 divided by 2 times 30. So the next odd, so each subsequent value, so I'm going to enter the next odd. So in this one, so it's easiest to come down and to copy. So we'll copy this all the way down the 30 times. And then let's go back and let's just correct what we need to correct in there rather than retyping everything over and over and over again. So in this one's case, so in the second one, we're going to say 3 divided by 2 times 30. Then in the next one, we're going to say 5 divided by 2 times 30. 7 divided by 2 times 30. 9 divided by 2 times 30. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I fill out the rest of the table, and then I'll turn it back on again. Boy, this is a tedious way to fill out this chart. Would there be anything that I could do to make this easier? When I look at the formula, I'm taking this formula and it's going from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 9. So what I thought was, why not come over here and start at 1, 3, 5. I want to let Excel do a little bit of this tedious work for me. And once I know this pattern between these two, remember we highlight it and then we drag it down, and Excel can remember that that's the indexing we want to use. So we're coming all the way down here to the bottom, and it's incrementing up by odd numbers starting with 1. Now what happens is this value, what I can do is I can just call out that cell now and copy it down. So I can come into this formula and I can come over here and I can call out this cell instead in its place. And so then remember the next one's supposed to be $1.38, so I'll copy it down just to check. The next one, $1.19. So let me check my work one more time, make sure my incrementing is working right. Plus I want to look at the formula. So it's taking E4, E5, E6. So everything looks okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it the rest of the way down. Went too far. Okay. So now I've got all of those values, and we were just using these over here to use it to feed that formula, doing it the easiest way that we could. Now what I want to do as far as my normal quantile plot is I'll highlight these two, and I'm going to choose the scatter plot command. So insert. This one is insert a scatter or bubble chart. I'm going to click that. And then what we would do is we would put up at the top, I'd put the normal quantile plot, and down at the bottom I would insert. So let's go ahead and do that. So up here I'll put normal quantile plot. For prices of items at store A. Maybe I'll go here and make it my second. Then I will insert, so I'll add my chart element. I'll come down here, I'll do my axis title. So under the axis title, the primary horizontal will still put item price in dollars. In dollars, parentheses, in dollars with a dollar sign, some way to tell us what the label is as far as that's concerned. So this is creating the normal quantile plot. If you want to print it out, remember you can highlight this whole thing, all the way down and print everything off and fit to a page. If you need to, go back and review the printing video. So I could fit to a page and print this all. If I only wanted the normal quantile plot, I can click on that, make sure it's activated, and then go in and do File Print, and it'll print just the chart itself. So there's the information. I don't really like, I'm not liking how I did this. For prices, I don't know. I just didn't like them exactly the same. Okay, normal quantile plot for prices of items at store A. Something like that. It was just bothering me. Okay, there's the instructions on how to do a quantile plot. So in general, when you're going through this, you want to make sure that you take this formula, norm.s.inverse, INV, then 1 divided by, and you want to start, and you want to do 2 times however many pieces of data you have. So if you have 50 pieces of data, you want to do 2 times 50. If you have 100 pieces of data, you want to do 2 times 100. And then every single one of these, the only thing that changes is that number that's in front of the division sign. Okay, there's the normal quantile plot.